My first name is Raj, R-H-A. My last name is Venugopal, spelled V-E-N-U-G-O-P-A-L.
Alright. And so, Raj, we have somewhat of an incident here, if you will, with your daughter setting up shop just outside the market. What can you tell me?
Yeah, over the last 3 years, she's been set up outside the market. She's 9 years old, and out of her own idea, she wanted to start up a business. And so we brought her down here on what we thought was municipal property, sort of easement property, didn't want to infringe on the market stall area. So we had her parked on a little patch of dirt right behind me. Last week, after the ownership of the market changed hands, we had a market official come out and speak to myself and speak to my daughter directly about having to vacate that particular patch.
Now, we were speaking off camera, and you said that obviously it's a bit of a different situation. Your daughter's only 9 years old. She's not making thousands of dollars. Surely there has to be some exception or some reduced rent. What was your feeling?
Well, at this point, Jeff, there's no arrangement with the market or no provisions with the market and the way it's run to allow for youth entrepreneurialism or any sort of youth initiatives. In fact, as I understand it, there's a single gateway where different zones in the market have waiting lists. In the case of the area behind me, I understand the waiting list is quite long, and by the time my daughter, if added to the bottom of that list, made to the top, she could very well be off and running on her own. So she's 9 years old, and we've got a pretty limited time to catch her attention with this sort of stuff. So we're pretty keen to have a resolution to the issue ASAP.
And now that's another thing that you were saying. Obviously, here your daughter's trying to learn a bit about business, setting up her own shop. So how did it make you feel when you were, in a way, confronted about setting up shop just feet from the market?
Well, working in a world, and professionally I work with rules and regulation and policy, and I understand that everyone's got a job to do, everyone's got concerns over process and the way things are done, but I think with any rules, there's always the big picture, and I was a little disappointed more than anything, Jeff, that the big picture was being lost. Kids out selling lemonade, kids selling candy, kids selling barrettes. There's rules, sure, but when it comes to our children and promoting the bigger picture, I think we lost sight of that. And hopefully the market, we can get that back by providing some innovative solutions to, try to get more kids out here. I think it's great to see little kids out in front of the market selling candy, and if we can support that, great.
Has there been any resolution whatsoever? I mean, where do things stand right now? Currently, she's off market property, right? You pointed out that there was a little marker there.
Yeah, the first thing we did this week was we backed her off of the market property according to the survey pins. But to the market's credit, I will say that on Monday morning after the incident, the confrontation took place on Saturday last week, I got a call Monday morning from someone representing the board of the market and wanted to kickstart a process to look at some alternatives. What can we do to support kids? What can we do to support young entrepreneurs? What can we do to, resolve this issue in an amicable way? I mean, Fredericton, it's a family community, and to have kids, a 6-year-old and a 9-year-old kicked off the Fredericton Voice Market grounds, I don't think it plays well for this community, certainly. It doesn't say much about what we think about kids.
And how does all of this make you feel as a parent?
Oh, as a father, the first time Maddie came out here, 6 years old, little girl with her little toys, what was going through my mind was, oh God, please buy something for my kid. Your heart breaks when you see people walk by, and I mean, she was disappointed as well on her first time out. So as a parent, it kicks you right in the stomach. But as they get their feet under them, as a young woman, she's learning to deal with customers, and she gets that confidence. I mean, it makes me feel great. And she literally does this by herself. She buys the material, she buys the candy, she buys the sticks, she buys the bracelets and buttons and all that stuff. She buys it from her money. And she makes it herself, and she sells it herself. And for me to see my daughter, and now she's teaching my son how to be confident, how to be strong, and how to do this kind of stuff, as a parent, it makes us both feel great, my wife and I. We're just so proud. And the fact that even after last week's incident, that it didn't dampen her spirits, that she's out here. I mean, she's got a smile on her face, and it doesn't matter if it's raining or whatever, she's out here. As a parent, it makes you feel great.